You're
And
live.
good evening and welcome to the Enchanted Cafe, everybody. Blessed full moon.
Yes.
It's a full moon, and I'm here tonight
Sorry.
with my darling Damon Stang, who is in there in the haze of raising the atmosphere with the incense smoke rising and touching out to the ethers to the full moon. And
Mhm.
welcome. And tonight we're going to be discussing dream interpretations and dream magic. And I thought that Damon and I would also talk a little bit about how we know each other, how we're connected and very close, more than just friends. We've worked together for many years.
Well,
So
we're
I thought we'd
family.
talk
We're family.
right, we'd talk about that. Of course, I'm your pagan mother.
Yes.
Everyone calls me mama. And so I'd like to start by talking about dreams is a very deep issue, um, especially when it comes to dream interpretations. I remember the first dream books I ever saw I've spent my life in New York. So in the magic shops, the first dream books I ever saw was The Professor's Hits, Black Cat, Aunt Sally's Dream Book, Your Lucky Dream Numbers, pamphlets with if you dreamt about a dog, it's this number this month, and if they were monthly little pamphlets given out, and very little, unless you were reading something Jungian, very little about was written about real dream interpretation, and mostly you'd have to find yourself a good therapist that was maybe a Gestalt practitioner or someone who really was invested in dream analyzation. And so there's been books written about dream analyzation, especially in the Eastern philosophy, but nothing that was really around in my era until later on in the 80s. Dreams started becoming more of Damon, are you still with us?
Yes. Yes. I'm still with you. I'm
Okay, I
listening.
can't
I'm
see you. I'm
listening.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't have much on dream information until the 80s, late 70s, 80s. People started coming out with books and information on really dream analyzation. And it's such a deep subject. And I'm so happy to have tonight, I have two people who are authorities on dream interpretation. And so, Damon, what do you think about lucid dreaming and dream interpretation? Want to speak to us?
Sure, absolutely. But I do want to just like reverse a little bit to, you said you wanted to talk a little bit about how the two of us know one another. And I just want to speak very
Ah,
briefly to that. Lady Rhea is my witch mother. She's my New York mother. She is my initiator. She initiated me into the New York Wicca. She's also was is she's the witch queen of New York City. And also my other spiritual tradition is I'm a Minoan brother, and Lady Rhea is the high priestess of the Minoan sisterhood. And so I'm very honored, first of all, very honored to be uh, on this episode with you. So you asked about lucid dreaming, and that was very interesting what you just said about the dream books and the numbers books and things like that. You know, I found that such a cultural curiosity when I first moved to New York City. I was like, what is this? Because I suppose, I came of age more in the 90s and stuff when there was sort of a broader literature and a broader sort of understanding of like a deeper exploration around dreams rather than just like sort of this, like sort of a very static understanding of like, this means that, and like, now go play your lotto numbers. And I respect that. I mean, that's a very valid folk cultural tradition. But lucid dreaming, you ask. Now, lucid dreaming is a wonderful, powerful path to co-creating reality with yourself, your subconscious mind, your superconscious mind, and the spirits and gods that you collaborate with. And it's a very powerful and wonderful journey that we find in ancient cultures. But, we find it in Tibetan Buddhism, and we find it in a lot of Asian cultures. We also find it in Africa. We find it in indigenous cultures as well. And it's a really and it
Egypt,
is
ancient Egypt.
ancient Egypt, and it is a thing that is being studied by contemporary science to this very day. It's a very interesting neurological phenomena.
So my interpretation of dreaming, personal, I don't know. I'm not going to say this is a fact. I think every person individually has their own interpretation of what dreams really are, whether they believe it's the subconscious mind, or like I believe it's actually our time travel in the astral plane, our time travel in our future, and that whatever we're doing in the dream, it could seem chaotic, it could seem angry, but really we could be on the other side constructing. And when we come to dreaming about it, the construction that we were creating of our future was so enamored, so passionate, so full of deep creation and work, that sometimes they come through as nightmares. Because I've seen a lot of times, I have a lot of nightmares, but you know what? But my life is always progressing. And when I come upon the obstacles, I recognize that that was part of the nightmare, but that I overcame it. So this is my opinion. What's yours, Damon?
About what specific? Oh, about
Well,
where dreams go.
what do you think dreams really are? Do you think there are
Sure.
subconscious
Well, I'm
minds, or do
gonna.
you think we're actually traveling in the astral plane?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Rhea, because as you know, I am in the works of planning this wonderful, juicy class all
Mm.
about the art and science of dreaming. And in this class, we're going to explore and discover that there are a lot of different layers to dreaming. Dreaming can be psychological. Dreaming can be just sort of the wheels turning in your head. Dreaming can be a full-blown magical, mystical experience. Dreams can be prophetic. I've been sort of over the past decade, I've been writing notes and collating a lot of information about dreams and reading a lot of books, scientific and magical and mythological, and studying the way this. So I believe that the dreams operate on a whole bunch of levels. So somebody might have a terrible dream and they think like, oh, something terrible is about to happen to me. Not necessarily. That's an anxiety dream. That's anxiety. That's your brain processing and also figuring out survival skills, things you've overcome or things like that. But then there are dreams that really are meaningful and powerful and that are like really motivating you in terms of your own personal spiritual evolution. Now, I don't want to give too much away about this because I want people
Of
to
course
take the
not. I
class.
can't wait for this class. I'm so excited. I am so psyched for this class, and I want to talk to you now about the fragrance that you're burning. What is that?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to imagine it.
This is a blend. It's a sort of an all-purpose blend that I use a lot, and I thought it was very perfect for this particular session. I call it Spirit Tongue, and it is a blend of frankincense, lavender, and deer's tongue. That's all that's in there.
Oh my goddess, you know how I love deer's tongue?
Oh, now imagine it with lavender and frankincense. It is uplifting, calming, and spiritual all at the same time.
Now, tonight I wanted to talk a little bit with you about how else we know each other besides being working covering partners in life. Damon has also worked for me in the hello. Damon has
Hi
also worked
guys.
for me. Hi, in the apothecary. So we're going to talk a little bit about fragrance also on creative dreaming. So good evening and welcome.
Hi, Lady Rhea. Hi, Damon. How are you
Hi.
guys?
It's nice
Oh,
to
we're
see
happy
you.
to see you.
Yeah, it's
I
always a pleasure.
apologize. I should have shaved a bit. I'm sorry. I wasn't
You
aware of
look
what I looked like.
beautiful.
You look rugged and handsome as usual.
Thank you.
Aw.
You guys look
Well,
lovely too.
thank you. So what can we do for you tonight?
Gosh, I don't know. I just wanted to say hi. I forgot. I just wasn't clear about. I really didn't have any. I've just been enjoying listening to you guys and opening up my
Ah,
brain and heart and just, you know.
I'm sure you have a
Well,
question.
well, Hank, you seem like somebody who has a lot of dreams. You must have a lot of dreams. Why don't you share one with us?
Well, I've been exploring some realms with Odin. I'm sure you guys
Mm.
know who Odin is.
Hmm.
Yes.
Actually, I did a painting of him. I could show you guys the painting if you want to see it.
Sure,
Um,
we'd love to.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna
Okay.
maneuver
That's all right.
myself.
Go get your painting.
So
In the
fragrances, you were
meantime,
saying.
yes. So, usually a lunar fragrance I think of is as lavender, camphor, maybe even the melon fragrances, the cucumber fragrances.
Mm.
But let's see Odin, and we'll go back to that in a minute.
Okay, we'll go. Okay.
Let us see
Lunar
Odin,
fragrance.
Hank.
Show us Odin.
Wow, that is a magnificent piece of work. That is really beautiful. Look
Thank you.
at that.
He's really
Oh, that
present in
is.
my life,
Very
and
talented.
thank you so much. I've been doing stuff where I talk to him and then he gives me crystals, and then I go into realms through the crystals, or he creates like a bed of, let's say that we take something like Larimar, he'll create like a bed of it, and then I'll lie on it. So
Wow.
it's like a gelatin made out of the crystal energy that is like this stuff, and then I kind of experience different realities and stuff with that, and crystal halls and crystal energy. And so I really enjoy working with him and just all this stuff. So I think it is kind of like lucid dreaming, but it's more like a meditation, and I kind of go into this other realm with him, you know.
So,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but stay on with us. We're talking about fragrance right now. And I was telling everyone that I usually would turn to a fragrance like camphor or wormwood, cucumber melon, lavender, very lunar, very watery, even lily, very watery fragrances. But
Mm.
tonight, for some reason, because we're all in New York, we want you to know it's brick cold right now in New York. It's
Yeah.
freezing. And tonight is such a cold night and such a crisp night that I wanted to stay away from fragrances like the lavender and the cucumber and the water elements because they're very clear, very crisp, camphor. And tonight I felt like very warm vanilla moon. And that deer's tongue
Ooh. Mm.
is just so vanilla in its way of burning. It's like got that vanilla
Yes.
honey
They
fragrance
they
to it mixed with the lavender.
they call it wild vanilla. Actually, it's a wild vanilla, or buffalo grass is another name for it. Which goes
Mm-hmm.
with a sort of like ox energy that we're entering into in the upcoming lunar year. Um, but so
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So the spirit tongue incense, it is warm. It is warm. It has the cooling lavender influence, but yes, it has the warming spirit tongue that is expanding out and
And
giving.
when you put lavender and deer's tongue together, it gets even more vanilla-like.
Mm,
It's amazing how the fragrances when they marry, even though see like
yes.
herbs are not marrying like oils. Oils marry the minute they touch. They're like, hello. But herbs have to kind of like when you're burning them or even boiling them, have to kind of take their time to commingle together to create this fragrance. And that's really a beautiful combination you have. But Damon and I have worked apothecary for a number of years in our relationship also. Damon also makes enchanted candles like me. He was trained by me to make the candles, right, Damon?
Yes, indeed, Mama. Yes, indeed. I love those candles. Those candles have taken me a lot of places. I will say. I've taken a little bit of a break, but I'm about to get back on that pony with your blessing.
You know you have it. Always. And now, Hank, do you like blending oils now that you're here?
I really do. I don't have that much experience, but I just sort of do my thing. I'd love to learn more, actually.
Well, in the future, I'll be doing fragrance classes on here from time to time on the witching hour. Like next week, I'm doing a class on hex breaking to clear the way for love right before Valentine's Day. Like, let's clear the way for love and let's remove any old residuals. Right, any old residuals of dark magic that's been laid upon you. I'm going to be giving out different recipes, and I'm actually going to make a love uncrossing candle live while I'm talking, showing everyone how to, oil glitter. The glitter is so much fun. It's easy once you learn, right, Damon?
Yes. Well, I don't know about easy, but there is a technique to it.
Well, I'm really interested in the unhexing class. That's definitely something I'd like to check out.
Next Thursday night, 8:00, we'll be here, and I'll be doing a unhexing class. Let's get rid of the old hex and bring on some good energy. Hex also is not just a word about negative, but it's also a word about hello. It's also a word about being, it's also a word for good luck. The Dutch hex signs were signs for magic, not necessarily. We've turned the word hex into being a negative connotation.
That's fascinating.
Well, interestingly, Lady Rhea, I was actually just doing some research a couple of hours ago. I was doing my research reading, and the word heck, the word hex, where we derive our word hex from, comes from ancient Egypt. And it is actually literally just the Egyptian word for magic, which is Heka. Heka, H-E-K-A. It means Heka. It just means magic. It doesn't mean bad magic. It doesn't mean good magic. It just means magic. Heka. And Heka, it's sort of, the Egyptians use it in the same way that that in Chinese cultures, people use the word chi. It's the same kind of heka. Somebody has a lot of heka, good heka, energy. Bad heka. It means energy. Yeah, it kind of comes down to heka. Some people got a lot of heka. Some people don't have a lot of heka. Some people got good heka. Some people have bad heka.
Sort of like mojo.
Yeah, sort of like. Do you feel the heka on that, queen?
And then you can be heckled as well.
And we can also look at it as the beginning of Hecate. Hello,
yes.
Hail Hecate.
Hail Hecate.
It's like, So, good evening and welcome. And do you have a question to ask tonight?
Yes, well, I don't really dream a lot now. Well, hello, Rhea. Blessings, mother. How are you?
My
so
darling.
Nice to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. Have you met Damon?
Damon, pleasure.
Have you been
It's a pleasure.
Introduced?
But no, we have not. Please do us the honor.
Blessings, light, and love.
This is Scott. This is Damon, and Scott is a big a spiritual worker like us, and I have to show off Scott's work.
I can tell. Yeah.
I'm so honored. Thank you, Rhea.
This is the wand that Scott made for me.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's right next to me so that I can. Is this not beautiful? Look, I really got to bring it up to show everyone.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's really, really gorgeous.
Blessings, light, and
And
love.
I'm his person now, so if you want a wand, you have to ask me, and I'll get the message to Scott.
Blessings. You are wonderful and like the most magical person to represent it. I'm like blessed.
I love this wand. You have no idea how in love I am with it.
I tell you, it called out to you. That's how I knew it was supposed to be yours. She was like, "Can I go home to mommy, please?"
Oh, she sure did. It's just magnificent. Look at that beautiful amethyst at the end, the amethyst crystal ball.
Oh my
and
God!
We have a beautiful amethyst point, and it's the metal work is absolutely. I can't show it well enough for you to really understand or see it. I want to lay it down carefully.
Well, Scott, I'm going to need to get your details so that I can see more of your work. Because
bless, definitely.
Yeah. So what can we do for you tonight?
Yeah. So nothing. I was just going to bring up a story that I had when I was a kid. I don't dream as much anymore.
Tell us a story.
Well, I was a kid and I had this dream that I was in a house and there was candles all over the walls and ceilings and everywhere. There was candles everywhere, and it was white and red candles. And I noticed that in the living room there was a play set, like swings and a slide and all that. And these kids were playing on it, and they were all in white, but they had like demon-like faces. And they were saying something and I couldn't understand them. And then I noticed my sister was in the living room on like a chair. And then one of the things that was holding the candles fell, and the fire started. And the fire surrounded me but couldn't touch me. And I was trying to run to save my sister. And but every time I moved, I couldn't get to her. She kept on slipping from my hands. And finally I got her, I think, and I ripped her out of the house. But I just thought that was always a peculiar dream, and I never knew, what it meant, or I just summed it up as me being Catholic and being told all these horrific, like stories and guilt and all this other stuff. But I'm curious to see what you guys' interpretations would be.
All right, I'm gonna jump right. I'm gonna jump right in first of all, if that's okay. Or do you want to jump in, Mom?
Oh, please, no, please.
Okay.
By all means.
All right, I'm gonna just get right in here because I've got a lot of feelings and impressions about this. I want to first of all ask you, like, how did you feel in the dream? Did you feel excited or did you feel afraid? Did it feel like an adventure or did it feel fearful?
I felt fearful but powerful, strong. Like I knew I couldn't be touched.
All right. So that seems to sort of lead into a sort of an adventurous kind of thing, like there was something going on in which in terms of that, this power that you felt like you were protected, that's a very big part of the dream, that you feel protected. And there's an objective that you have to obtain in the dream. You have to save your sister. And so I think that's very interesting because it becomes an adventure dream, right? It becomes something about like your spirit, or your spirit's like showing you something that you can overcome. Now, the little demonic children playing really, really fascinate me, okay? Because I'm getting a big fairy vibe from that.
Yeah, they kind of look like evil fairies.
I'm getting this big fairy vibe from that. And the thing with fairies is, we can examine there's a whole trajectory of fairy literature and fairy mythology that we have available to us. But if we sort of dismiss the Victorian fairy, which is the sweet, nice skipping around fairy, we have this whole breadth of like a mythology that tells us that fairies are capricious. They can be very tricky. They like to do things that put us out of our comfort zones. Okay. Yeah. So this is entirely what you're describing to me. You know, it's like this. Do you have a resonance with fairy energy? Like as a person, does fairy energy mean something to you?
Well, I'm connected with all energy. I'm like when I'm in the woods, I feel very powerful. I'm connected with animals. I'm you know, so I do believe I am connected with fairy, you know, as of many other things.
Yeah. Well, this fairy energy, because you say this is a dream from your past, okay? This fairy energy was really surrounding you very strongly. Now, the white and the red candles are very significant to me, okay? Because the red candles are speaking about ancestry. They're speaking about family. They're speaking about power, okay? But they're speaking about this like a lineage to power. And to me, because this dream is about you and your sister so much, it speaks about the connection between the two of you, about the very like well-held, connected kinetic relationship between the two of you. Like you're never going to really mess up with her. And the white candle, there's spirit. There's the you don't have to worry, boo. We got you. You know. So to me, I don't see those little evil fairy children as being threatening. They're just showing up to kind of push you, to give you a little push and be like, yo, you can get around circles of fire. You can get out of this house. Everything's going to be just fine. So that's how I see that one. Yeah.
I love that. And, you know, to bring it back to what you were talking, I know that was beautiful. It kind of made me think about what you were talking about, the word hex. You know, how everything gets morphed. So I think because of the religion, it made it look evil, but really wasn't, you know, and that made me understand that just now by you explaining the hex. And I was just like, wow.
Well, I mean, Rhea started that, but if you experience that religion that you escape from as toxic, maybe this was the first step for you getting out of it. So, you know,
yeah.
I pulled the tarot card for you about your dream. While you were speaking, I was shuffling, and I decided tonight to use my Halloween deck.
Nice,
which I don't normally use. And the card I pulled for you, and I'm going to put it up to the camera, is the Three of Wands. And the amazing thing about this deck is the Three of Wands is actually the Three of Imps. So you mentioned imps in your dreams, pixies, fairies. And I never use this deck but something tonight pulled me to use it. I even said to Scott earlier, hey Scott, that that I'm going to use the Halloween deck tonight. I said, and I never use this on a professional occasion. You know, usually I'll use it for myself because I happen to like Halloween, my favorite holiday. And but the Three of Wands itself also in your dream would represent your future. So I imagine that you must have looked out for your little sister the rest of her life, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm the baby. She was a little bit older than me, but
you look out for her.
Yeah.
You're the brother.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm totally. I don't.
You know it. I can't go out with them. Forget about going to a club. It's off limits. I'm like the worst. You don't even want to bring me. You know, I tell them, why even bring me? Because I'm not gonna have fun. I'm too busy watching you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and God forbid a guy tries to talk to you, then I'm really going off. You know. Because I know, I know what it is in the club, buy her a drink, get a little swiggy, you know what I mean? Like, no, with my sister.
Yeah, over my dead body. I understand.
Exactly.
But that's the Three of Wands. That was also telling you about your future, how you would always escape your sister out of any danger.
Amazing.
Even if it was a hard job, even if it was an unwanted job at times. Like, who the hell wants to be the bummer? You know what I mean? But
It's
Someone
true.
has to be the bummer.
Somebody's
Listen,
got to do it.
I grew up with 2 older sisters. Don't even think about coming near me. They looked at these guys like, I'll kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And we were
You
real
ain't
Bronx.
lying.
I mean, like, they could kick his ass.
Yeah, like, you know,
So
old
it
school
was,
style. Grab a broken bottle on the street. Anything that's near you, you know?
yep. So yeah,
Totally.
it was
Well,
like
thank you
that for me
guys so
growing up. I
much.
Well,
Thank
understand.
you.
But I'm so
be-
happy
be-
you came on tonight.
I'm very happy too. I
before you
got
get
to
off
Wait
the
know
line,
second,
I
this.
just
Scott.
I want to I want to say one more thing to you. You know, because you mentioned that you do not dream anymore. So first of all, consider taking my dreaming class. But actually, besides that's
Good
me just
point.
being funny. But the point is, I really hope that those tricksy little spirits come and visit you again now that you're a grown up and you can kind of process that they're not threatening and that they're here to show you doors you didn't know existed.
Well,
So,
I've had a very weird dreaming life. I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid, and I don't know why. And
Oh, that's
my father
interesting.
found me out outside in the Bronx in the middle of the street, you
mm,
know,
Ah, the
talking about,
Bronx.
yeah, talking about like
Yo,
he's
Bronx.
coming. But I think I don't remember my dreams because of some things, you know, like I don't want to mention it here, you know, but like some substance that I may be taking that stops me from dreaming, which I don't mind because I'm like Rhea. I used to always have nightmares. Would only have maybe one good dream out of 5 like dreams that I would have. So, but I would love to take your dream class and figure all of this out and go a little bit deeper,
all
you
right.
know.
No, it's
Yeah,
It's
going to
been
be a
totally.
great class.
been really nice
Thank
meeting
you.
you.
Bless. It was so
Thank you
nice
for
meeting
coming
you.
on.
Great meeting you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
And Scott, you're
Bye.
going to be doing a class with us also soon. Scott will be also joining the Esoteric New York City group and conducting some classes on herbs because that's one of his specialties, and
Mm,
obviously crystals. So, and maybe he'll even introduce us to wand making. That, I mean, the workmanship is incredible. Really incredible workmanship. It's some of the best. I've seen a lot of wands in my lifetime, but that's some of the best metal crafting I've seen. It's
yeah.
beautiful, really impeccable work. So we were talking about fragrance
Yes.
earlier, and
Hmm.
so I kind of feel like this is a very warm. This moon was so cold that it needed some warmth
Hmm.
added to it. That's why I thought of that vanilla
It's so
fragrance. A
y-
plain vanilla girl, but tonight
n-
I just it
there's
just need we need warmth.
there's nothing plain about vanilla. In fact, it's so interesting that you mentioned that now, Rhea, because I recently there's this wonderful organic herb shop close to my home in Williamsburg, and I
Ah,
bought myself 3 beautiful organic vanilla pods. And in fact, I dreamt about them last night. Not last night, the night before. And the vanilla pods were like, why haven't you used us yet? So maybe tonight I'm going to crack them open and infuse them in some oil.
that's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
This is I don't know why it's just a very vanilla moon or a vanilla energy. And I have 500 formulas of fragrances that I blend, but sometimes it's just vanilla like is commonly used in a lot of my spells because it's a very good neutralizer and a very good base oil. You can
Hmm.
build on vanilla. You know what I'm saying? You can add fragrances to it and it'll just marry whatever you add it to. If you add it to a fruit fragrance, if you add it to a floral, if you add it to a musk, if you add it to a spice, vanilla will marry anybody. Don't you
Mhm.
think?
Yeah, and I think that vanilla has a bad reputation. People are always like, "Oh, that's so vanilla," but vanilla is a powerful aphrodisiac. It has all
That's
kinds
right.
of wonderful depths of, and it's also, which I think a lot of people don't know, it's like derived from orchids, and orchids are these like sexy, exotic
Exotic.
flowers. It really does have a lot of character to it, you know. Um, and there's a
So
big
harmless.
difference to artificial. There's a big difference to artificial, like vanilla extract, and then like real vanilla,
Vanilla extract.
a vanilla extract.
And even
There's
when you eat ice cream, if it's vanilla bean ice cream, it does have a different flavoring, more deeper, richer tone than
yeah,
eating just plain vanilla ice cream.
yeah. It can make you quite euphoric, actually.
Well, I'm a big fan of vanilla personally.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, but normally for a full moon, I would be going more for like those pristine fragrances. But it's so cold, I just didn't want anything so pristine, so icy as
Hmm.
those water fragrances. And I wanted warmth, sugary, vanilla feeling tonight. So that's why I said tonight is a good. If you have vanilla incense at home, don't hesitate to light it tonight, or any incense. Light incense and light candles to the full moon. But now I want to talk a few minutes before you go, Damon. I think Laurie will be coming on soon. Um,
Hmm.
Before you go, I want to talk about creative dreaming for cre-
Yes.
creating a safe space as you go to fall asleep.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you have a practice with that? I know I do. So I'd
Um,
let you share yours first.
okay, sure. So yes, I do have a creative dreaming practice that, and this is something I'm going to be talking about in my class later on. It is
Just give us a brief
important.
sentence.
Brief sentence. Okay, it's when you're going to bed, you want to sort of have a path that you're walking on, like a beautiful garden path that you want to create a sort of a temple of the mind, a place where you
Exactly.
feel very, very safe, and for me, I enjoy walking. Some people like to walk through a forest. I like to walk through a well cultivated garden,
Oh,
that,
beautiful.
yeah, well cultivated garden, something that's been very well planted, and past the fountains and down the stairs and around the corner and then up the steps to a beautiful house that I've been in before with many rooms. And I climb the steps and there's a little waiting room and there's a little chair that I can sit in. And then it's like telling yourself an active bedtime story. And then I'm looking at the paintings. What do the paintings look like? You tell yourself a beautiful, pretty story, but a structured story that you tell yourself over and over and over again. This is a very simple technique to get into lucid dreaming. You set up an architecture, but you don't really ever change the architecture. You keep it all the same. It's like you always go the
Exactly.
same direction. You go the same direction, go the same way. Certain details can change, like the paintings in my waiting room. Someone rehangs the paintings. There are new paintings there all the time, and so that's where you can get a little creative with that. But as you're drifting into sleep, these things really help to trigger a more active experience of dreaming. So that's my. Now I want to hear yours.
Well, you see, now you would think that I would have a similar thing like you do because of my style. But guess what I do? I have a very haunted fairy wood. I walk
Nice.
through a fairy woodland and I have a witch's hut cottage in the woods. It's a single room. It has a magnificent fireplace. It has a beautiful cast iron bed. I
Hmm.
have these cozy quilts on top of it. I slip in, the fire is lit, my loved ones are with me. There's a rocking chair, there's plants and little critters in there, and that's where I go. I go to my secret place in the woods. And me, I'm if you ask me to go camping, I'm like, where's the
Hey
Hilton?
guys.
Hey,
I
honey,
Hi Mama,
welcome.
how you doing?
Mwah, beautiful. Happy full moon.
Thank you.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, so I keep having this dream, like, and it's nonstop recurring. And it's always about people I cut ties with. Like, I'm a kind of person who does cord cuttings often, and usually the people that I do them to, it's just like they keep coming up in my nightmares and my dreams, and it's always like, I don't even know why.
Yeah.
Is there a specific detail you'd like to share with us? Like, how do they come for you? Like, are they chasing you? Are they yelling at you?
It's a lot of that is different. It can be chasing, it can be yelling, it could be trying to overpower, it could be trying to, like, it's always something different, but it's usually the same kind of theme.
How many people? Is it a specific one person, two people, an anonymous group?
A specific one person.
A specific one person. Okay. All right. Well, without any specific details in terms of like how this person is coming at you, and you say you're already doing a lot of the sort of cut and clearing work, then, and I see Rhea's doing her card, so we're going to let her do her thing. But in the meantime, I'm just going to say that I would advocate for you doing some specific protection work before you go to sleep at night. You know, taking a spiritual bath before you go to sleep at night. All right, placing something, if there's space under your bed, placing objects of protection literally underneath your bed. You know, if you have spiritual tools that symbolize protection, etc., literally place them under your bed. If you don't have things like that, something that always works very well is like spring water in a vessel with a knife inside it, and you put that right underneath your bed where your head is, you know. So that works very well. But, you know, taking the spiritual bathing and setting up your protections, and then getting into what Rhea and I have been talking about, this sort of active dreaming, lucid dreaming, and setting up a situation where you can literally just tell this person to back the fuck off. Because this does happen. Yeah, back the fuck off. Because this does happen. People who attach to other people, they do send their spirit out into the night to come and harass you, sometimes not even consciously. All right, but you have to take control of the situation. It is really all in your hands to take control of the situation. Let's hear what Mom has to say.
Okay.
So you saw me shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, right?
Yes.
And I cut the cards and I got the same thing, the Three of Imps. That's why I looked.
The Three of...
Whoa, Three of Wands. Again, this is also about recreating your future. So you've cut the people off, but you still have kept them in your future thoughts. So if you're going to do cutting, you know, he mentioned something earlier about literally putting something under your bed. Do you know what an Italian would do? A pair of scissors open under the bed, especially because you like cutting cord. So I would think that an open scissor, right, an open scissor under your bed, or that would be a representation of cutting. But also an open scissor is the Italian symbol for I corna, which means right. So the open scissors, right, the open scissors, Italians also use them to say a cut. I cut that off of me. So I would open a scissor under my bed.
I really love this idea of the open scissors, actually. I'm like really like feeling it very strongly. And I'm really feeling it very strongly. And if I was going, and I think that spell is perfect by itself. But I would, if there's another, next time there's but you don't have to wait for this. Next time there's a storm, like a storm in New York City, gather some water and put that scissors in a bowl of water under your bed, and that is just like telling them
even above it. You get the glass
above it, yeah,
above
even
the glass
better.
of water.
Yes, even better, yeah.
The
even better.
Latinos do that a lot. The scissors over water.
Yes, that's
water. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
but
awesome.
That will help you.
But disentangle them from your mind, just also psychologically. Whoever this person is, you just have to.
A new future.
They're coming for you in your dreams. That's real. That's valid. We're witches. Or spiritual people. We know that stuff happens. But it's so important for you to not give it any power. Laugh at it. Laugh about it. Laugh at it. Laughter is a very good anti-hexing power.
Perfect magic. Laughter.
Perfect magic.
Medicine.
Laugh at it.
Wow.
You can also, we'll take the dreaming class with Damon. He's going to be teaching you how to create magical beings, helpers, so that you're able to summon them in your dreams, which is very important. Learning how to control and have more control over your dreams will help you have more control over your life. Like I said, I have a lot of times I have nightmares, but I realize that they're actually help. That's because I've been constructing a lot on the other side. Because I believe dreams are in the astral plane.
Mm-hmm.
I also have dreams of flying. I flit over rooftops.
Of course you do.
I believe it.
You gotta come visit me sometime. I haven't seen you in a while.
I saw you naked the other night, honey. Don't tell. No.
Oh, girl.
I'm not going to say whether you were alone or not. I'm just going to say I saw you. I got my eye on you.
I enjoy that because actually last night was the first night I've slept very well in a long time. So that's good. That's good news, actually.
Mama's a voyeur.
Yes, without a doubt.
All right.
So we were talking about fragrance earlier. So what, besides the water elements for the moon, what other fragrances do you like for lunar work?
Well, I personally...
It's witch! A witch is in the room! Witch!
Hi!
Hi!
Beautiful Aphrodite is in the room.
Yes, I came to say hello.
Oh, we love you.
I
know what you dream about.
Yeah, what is good? What fragrances are good to remember your dreams?
Well, just before we get onto that, I just want to, because Rhea, you mentioned something, because you were talking about these, you don't want these like severe, clear fragrances. And I was thinking about living back in Africa, jasmine. Jasmine. All of those night flowers, all of those pungent night flowers,
Flowers, yes.
Moonflowers, all of those pungent frangipani, all of these flowers that open at night and then release their scent at evening time, that's something to think about,
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a morning glory.
Oh, I have that too.
There is the moonflower, and the moonflower is a morning glory, but it blooms at night.
Yes, I know. Yes, morning flower. Yeah, moonflower. Morning glory.
They're huge.
Yeah,
they're big
I
white
know.
blossoms.
And they smell divine, and they're deadly poisonous.
Oh. I also have the lotus flower. Is that good?
Lotus is perfect for the moon.
Yes.
Lotus is associated with the moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so Daisy, so you're saying in terms of like you want to know about
Daisy.
Fragrances that are for remembering
my dreams. Mm-hmm. Sometimes
I
I
mean,
can't remember them.
I would say lavender is very good for that in terms of fragrance, but if you're not looking for a fragrance but for more of like a plant that you could sort of ingest as a tea,
Okay.
chamomile.
Potions, girl.
Chamomile
Yeah,
tea. I drink chamomile tea. What other tea is
chamomile,
good?
like valerian, and then of course mugwort. But mugwort is bitter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But mugwort, so if you want to sort of experiment with like putting like a
Better to
small,
burn mugwort.
Which one?
Burn
sure,
mugwort on charcoal.
Burn
It's good.
mugwort? Okay, I have that.
On charcoal. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
no problem. But sort of make a blend of calendula, chamomile, yes, calendula, chamomile, and valerian root.
Okay.
And then drink it as a tea with a little bit of organic honey. That'll help you out a lot.
How about Damiana?
Oh, I have that Damiana too.
Damiana is a good one. Yeah, Damiana is definitely a good one. But Damiana is also an aphrodisiac, so that's just going to give her sexy dreams.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. Oh, give me more good ideas. That's good.
She had a reading with the fabulous connected
Katerina. Oh my God, she's fabulous. Get a reading from her. She shocked me.
And she told me how to say your name. She says, because she's Greek.
Yeah.
She says, I know you call her Aphrodite, but let me tell you something. It's Aphrodite. Do you get this? Greek? Aphrodite. I said, okay, I'm going to call her Aphrodite. I'm going to call her Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Mama, you so fast. Yeah, she was awesome. She's awesome. She was really good. And she makes you comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable, very loving, very nice. I loved everything she told me.
Nice.
So I pulled a card for you tonight.
Oh, geez.
You have, this is the Halloween deck. So it's the mummy, but it's actually the Hierophant. So I think that your dreams are also very, right now, very much on you should be working on your spiritual level with your dreams, being that you have a priest guiding you. You might be getting dream guides more so, so that your dreams become more prophetic.
Okay.
And now I'm going to pull one for the fabulous Damon Stang.
Oh.
I guess you should have a card too.
Thank you.
No one ever does readings for us.
I know. It's true. It's so true.
We always get left out because we have to work all the time.
Yeah.
So let's see what you have. Oh boy. Damon? You have the sun.
Oh.
Hey, awesome.
That means you are brilliantly connected with your dreams, because this is all about dreams. And I asked about you for dreaming, and you got the sun, which tells me that you are psychically, your connection is clear, it's open, it's nothing hidden from you, because the sun exposes everything.
Beautiful.
Were you able to hear me?
Yeah, there's a little bit of feedback right now. There's a little bit of crazy feedback going on. I think maybe we need to. But
yeah,
I
he
did.
Muted.
Okay, he muted up. Okay. Yeah, Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I do work with this. I love solar energy, actually. I love lunar energy, but I love solar energy as well. And I do take that as a very positive omen. And actually, you know, when I have my sort of very, I'm going to just use this word, and I'm going to use it very out of context, but when I have my shamanistic dreams, what I would prefer to call magical dreams, where I'm exploring strange fairy landscapes, they're always bathed in sunlight. So yeah,
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
I look forward. Yeah, so I look forward to more of those dreams.
The sun card for you tonight, though, represented that there's nothing hidden from you, because all is exposed by the sun. Everything is seen in the sun, sunlight of the day. So it means that your dreams are also very clear, well sighted,
Yes.
also very connected, because the sun is also the psalm of, and we shall become as little children and inherit the earth. So it's also that you've inherited your brilliant mind, sun mind. It's a very good card. I'm so pleased for you.
I'm very pleased too. That is a good card. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And so, do we have anybody else coming on tonight, Scott? No? Okay.
Well, we can keep on talking.
We will go on talking. I'd like to go back to, you mentioned earlier another fragrance, which is jasmine, which I absolutely am addicted to jasmine.
Oh, have you ever lived around like an actual jasmine bush? It is intoxicating. I've like thrown my face into them, and it's especially at night. That's when the jasmine really releases her fragrance.
Oh, it's
you know,
beautiful. Heady, very heady, very romantic for a moonlight, full moon. If you wanted to do something romantic, I mean, let's face it, the moon is also considered a planet of romance besides
absolutely,
Venus.
yes.
You know, everything. Moonstruck, which is one of my favorite romance comedies. I relate to it very well, you know, especially when she looks at her daughter and she said, "Your life is in the toilet." I love that line. Moonstruck. You love him? Yeah, oh, that's bad. It's Cosmo's moon. Cosmo's moon that did it. It's the moon has been used as for virtuoso of love songs since the beginning of time. We've all
yeah, they
been
use it
with the moon.
They use it in Romeo and Juliet as the, you know, they speak very, there's a lot of poetry in Romeo and Juliet about the moon, the inconstant moon, you know.
Honeymoon.
Yes. Honeymoon, absolutely. Yeah.
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 So,
moon-eyed.
Don't
be all moon-eyed.
Lunatic.
We're
a pair of lunatics. We worship the moon. And so if someone dreams, so let's say talking about dreams, so if the moon, since it's a full moon, and we're touching on the subject of the moon tonight, so let's say someone dreams and the moon is a very prominent part of their dream, what would you say?
I would say if the moon is a very prominent part of the dream, if the dream is good, first of all, whether the moon is good or bad, I would say that the dream is tied in. It's connected. You should really pay attention to that dream. You know, if the moon features in the dream, the moon is definitely connecting you to the narrative of the dream. You should not ignore it. You should investigate it. Absolutely. If the dream is good, it definitely indicates progression. It definitely indicates progression. If the moon is, if the dream is bad, there's a warning. You should probably turn back from the course that you're on. All right, because the moon, Yeah, you should probably turn, because the moon, I find something in my tarot practice that I found is that the moon can often be a timing factor, because it indicates a month, it indicates the course of a month,
That's right.
Whereas the sun indicates the course of a year, or a week or a day. The moon indicates the course of a month. I have always found,
Yeah.
it might, other readers might do it differently, and I'm not trying to like
This is your interpretation. This is
that's
what we want to hear.
Yeah, that's how I use those. I also use the moon and the sun as like timing cards. Like if they appear in the same reading, I will always like compare where they fall to get a sort of a sense of time. Because then you can really give your client a sense of time, which a lot of people really hunger for. But for me, if the moon is full, if the moon is new, and you're having a very significant dream where the moon falls in there, you should really pay attention and analyze those things, And another thing is, that I'll just give away here, and this little just giveaway that's going to come up in my class is one of the most important things that you can do in terms of learning dream divination is to start to keep a little dictionary of symbols that show up for you, like writing down symbols. Like, we all have things that we dream about over and over and over again. For instance, I have this recurring dream, where I discover extra rooms inside my apartment. Like I'm cleaning out my closet and I notice that there's like a little window at the top of my closet. And then I climb up through the window and there's a whole other landscape up there that I never knew about. And there's an entire replica of my apartment up there. And then I start moving my furniture into that replica and I'm like, oh, I don't know what that sound is. No one's ever going to find me up here. And so I start moving all of my furniture up there. But not because I'm trying to like escape or hide myself. I just want some extra space. And when dreams like that happen for me, it's usually because I'm about to make a jump forward in my life. So I get very excited when I have that dream, because it means something very exciting when you get like a whole new opportunity is about to happen to you. So like keeping this little journal of, especially if you dream of something over and over and over and over again, and you can link it to a pattern in your life, this is gold, and can really like help you navigate through things. So, yeah.
Like if someone dreams of shoes very often, that may indicate that you're on different journeys. So you can keep track of the fact that if you're dreaming of sandals or shoes, that there are journeys coming. So dream symbols, though, like I said, when I first saw dream books, it was like Aunt Sally's dream book, Black Cat dream book, Professor Hit's dream book. Even the most sophisticated of all the dream books back in those early stages was Magine Gonzalez Whippler's book on dreams, where she did give a little paragraph more of information and then lucky numbers. But lucky numbers and dreams always went hand in hand. But if someone dreamt of the dead, there was a number for it. If someone dreamt of shoes, there was a number for it. This is just how I grew up too. I mean, like, there was always a lot of gamblers, and they always had these superstitions about dreams and what number to play. Or if you dream a number, you play it. If you dream of someone that died, you play their birthday, their anniversary, the day they died.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh.
Yeah. But the dead have special numbers. I think it's 569. If any of you do play numbers out there, yes.
No. Sorry to interrupt. No, keep on going.
No, go ahead.
No, well, I was just, I think it's very interesting, this, you know, because for me, coming from a different cultural background and from a different generation, like this idea of using dreams specifically to play numbers, this was very foreign and very novel to me. And I actually find it quite somewhat exotic, actually. And I think it would be very interesting for you to actually sort of get some of those dream books together and to teach like a dream book, like gambling class.
Every month on our blog on Esoteric.New York City, I listed what we call, remember Astro Hot Tips, Damon? When I used
Yes,
to
I
publish
do.
that newsletter. So I've started publishing it again. It's on our blog. And
Mhm.
every month I will give your astrological sign. And then I actually give out lucky numbers. I give out numbers for 3-digit, 4-digit, and lotto. And always remember, it's gambling. The goddess Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, is blind, and she's very cold. She doesn't dignify with who she decides, well, you're a good person, so I'm going to make the fates throw the numbers and the luck and the fortune on you. She just casts it. And that's what the fates mean. It's just boom, it's there. I think one person won the mega $1 billion somewhere, and goddess bless them. You know, I'm happy for them. But
Okay.
that's the thing with gambling.
So Rhea, we have
Yes,
a couple of questions that have been sent in. Okay,
I'm ready.
wait. Oh, okay. So we are bringing Annie on right now, I believe. So
Annie, I was wondering where she was tonight. Annie.
okay.
Hey, Mama.
Happy full moon, Annie. Mwah. We're so happy to see you. I was asking earlier, where's Annie? Scott said, I don't know.
I posted it there. Hi, Mama.
I know. Hi. I can't see what you write.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I can't see
welcome.
what you write either.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome, honey. What's up?
I didn't hear you calling for me. I was getting upset.
No. Earlier, before we went live, I was saying to Scott, I don't know, is Annie in yet? He said, no, not yet. I said, where's Annie? And here you are. So happy to see you.
Thank you.
So welcome, and what can we do for you this evening?
Okay, I don't dream, which I'm happy about. However, if somebody texts me or calls me before I'm getting ready for bed and it's upsetting, I have nightmares and then panic attacks. So how can I stop the panic attacks? When I didn't know what happened, and it took me 3 days to realize why I had the nightmare.
Okay, sure. I would definitely. So this happens to you when you get an unexpected text or an unexpected phone call?
Right. Like, I don't go to bed till really, really late, 6 o'clock in the morning. If I'm lucky, so like 5 o'clock, somebody's texting me. Everybody knows I'm awake. For example, someone texts me how the virus is a hoax. Their governor, said all these lies. And I said, show me the info.
Okay. So you're really looking for a very practical strategy here. And there actually are some very practical strategies, because I study dreams on a magical level, on a mythopoetic level, and also on like an amateur scientific level. All right. So what I would really suggest to you that I have found, I suffer from panic attacks myself for different reasons, but I understand what panic attacks are about. I would encourage you to look into something called binaural beats.
What
right?
is that?
Binaural beats, they are sort of, it's a certain form of electronic music that is designed you would need headphones for this because it's 3-dimensional sound, and it's incredibly relaxing. It's incredibly relaxing. It kind of like bounces around your head. It's not like you're listening to like electro or like trance music. It's really chill. It's not necessarily music. It's just like tones and sounds that just like kind of move around your head, and it is. I cannot tell you how much it's helped me for my insomnia, for my anxiety, for my PTSD. So I'm just going to go with a straight up secular remedy for that one. Yeah.
Thank you. That's similar to the EMDR. If you have the EMDR machine, beep, 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 just like that.
Yeah, but binaural beats are much deeper. Like EDMR is just like beep, bop, 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 bop. Binaural beats is like, they're like tones. It's like, you know, there's a lot more going on, you know. So
right. I have chronic PTSD, so I understand.
And I have chronic PTSD myself, and so that's why I'm suggesting it. It is a very, very useful tool. I encourage you to look into it.
Okay. So. I do sleep with the white noise blasting in the background, so I'll have to get headset.
You would need a headset. You would need a headset for this because it really relies on that sort of 3-dimensional situation, you know, because it goes, because it goes from one side, that side, then it'll feel like it's coming from the top of your head, then it'll feel like it's coming from your chest, and it's really beautiful, you know. And the other really practical medicine that I would suggest to you is getting a sleep mask. Even if your room is very, very dark, putting a sleep mask over your eyes is incredibly comforting. And, you know, just having that like slight pressure on your eyes will help you fall asleep a lot faster. They actually even sell ones that with lavender in them that you can heat up in the microwave. So like it activates the lavender, then you put it on your eyes and it's just at a slight warmth, and it's, you know, there are a lot of these tips and tricks that can help you fall asleep.
I take enough meds, so I shouldn't wake up, and I should fall asleep once I take them. But I do have the lavender. I should just look for it and put that in then on.
Yeah. All right, over to Rhea.
Hi, baby. You have the Hanged Man, which in this case represents that you're trying to wrap your mind around what's troubling you, and you're trying to look at it from a different angle, but for some reason it takes you days to unravel this information. So I think that what Damon suggested, actually, I would like to even try it myself. I've never heard of it before, but I would like to try that myself. The binaural. I like
by oral, like so.
By
so
oral.
It's like by oral.
You
so
gotta
like
text that to me later.
Yeah, by oral beats. Yeah.
I actually like listening to nature sounds to fall asleep. I have it on Pandora, and I also like the songs of the humpback whale. There's something about their calling out. And the ocean, knowing that they're in that vast ocean, the ocean is very comforting, very alluring, very soothing. If you're on a rubber raft on the ocean and you feel the rocking, so it kind of like rocks you. So the sounds of humpback whales, I don't know, they work for me. I sing back to them. I wonder if sometimes if they actually somewhere in the universe hear me, because I'm actually communicating with them. I believe in that. I believe when we howl, that wolves somewhere, because we are connected, actually feel our howling. And I believe the whales hear me singing. Poor things. They can't cover their ears. Their flippers don't reach.
But Annie, I really do believe that both Rhea and I, like your medicine lies in sound here. You know, it lies in sound. And it's good that you have the white noise thing, but I think that you need something a little bit more nurturing than white noise.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you need to start creating that dream place to where when you're laying down to fall asleep, your mind is focused on creating your safe place to go to. And you'll find that when you're in your safe place, that you have better control over your dreams and your anxiety, because the anxiety is like a running loop. It keeps going, the same fear over and over and over again. It's like a broken record. And so replace the broken record with constructual dream creation of creating your safe place to go to have your good dreams, to have your informative. Like I said earlier, nightmares aren't necessarily bad. I mean, we've all had nightmares. We all have a lot of nightmares. And guess what? We're still the hell here. Which means whatever happened bad in the nightmare isn't happening to us in the physical.
Normally,
it's
I don't.
The emotional.
I decided, Mama, I'm not going to answer the phone at a certain time. No texts or anything. Unless it's you, you're going to have to give me a signal that it's you, because I'm
well, you know,
the phone.
Well, you know, Annie, depending on what kind of phone you have, and depending on what kind of phone you have, you can actually set a do not disturb setting on your phone. So
I know, but I don't want to miss Mama's text if she texts me, because I don't know what time she's. It will be at 5 or 6 or 7 in the morning, so I want that to come through.
Well, I think that you can actually customize
set hours
it.
and boundaries of, Mama, I'm going to sleep. So if you're
I'm
having
not going to miss your call.
Don't. But I'm saying, but we can make boundaries. I won't call you at a certain hour so that you don't have to worry about missing my call. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
This way you don't have
time difference here, so.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We have to talk about boundaries of when I should contact you and when I shouldn't. You know, like everyone knows. Damon, do you ever call me on the weekend?
Oh, hell no.
That was an accident.
It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing. It's for everybody knows. Like, I tried not to take calls on the weekend because it's family time, and that's what I spend my time with my family. And because I'm always on the phone, I had to create. This is my point. Certain borders. Because if not, I'm
boundaries
on the phone.
Boundaries are so important. Yeah.
24/7, I could be on the phone without a doubt, talking to people, and it wouldn't bother me.
In my defense,
I love talking.
In my defense, I always text, "Can I call?" Except this time, she just messaged me. My dog's puking all over the place. He's so sick.
Annie,
I freaked.
Annie,
I dialed.
Don't get an anxiety over it. It wasn't to point a finger at you. It was to make a statement. Is that, you know, people need to have borders and boundaries about when they can and cannot call people, and we need to set up those borders ourselves. That's each individual's responsibility to
that's
create
how you paint
those
a picture.
borders.
That's how you paint a picture. It's how you draw a design. Now, we do have one final question coming up. I'm just on the line with Scott, who's giving us a little signal.
A heads up.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Scotty.
So this person, I think, let me just scroll through my phone. Monique, she doesn't want to come on the camera. She doesn't want to appear on the camera. Okay, all right. Okay. So our question from Monique is: don't symbols mean different things for different people or cultural traditions? I think that's a great question, Monique, and I hope you're still with us so that we can answer your question. It's a more technical question than a personal question. And if you want to sort of...
Monique.
Is it the same Monique? Is it the same one?
I could tell
Really?
from the question. Is it Monique? Our Monique, Scott? Give us a heads up.
Is
If
it
not,
our
whoever you are,
Monique?
it was an excellent question.
It's an excellent question. You want to kick it off, or should I?
I think I would
Oh,
like
it is
to
our
start
Monique.
out.
Yeah,
Of course it
it
is.
is our
I know her
yes.
type of question. She's my daughter. Of course I know. She's one of my witches. One of the, I would have to say that is absolutely 100% true. What shoes may mean to me, or the moon may mean to me in a dream, may be something different to you, and culturally, absolutely 100% different to everyone. Like I said earlier to Andrew, is like scissors. Culturally, Italians and Latins, we use scissors to cut things, or like, so different symbols would definitely change the meaning of the dream for each individual. That's what I think. What do you think, Damon?
Well, yeah, it comes a little bit back to what I was saying, where I advocate for modern individual people to compile their own sort of dream dictionaries. For instance, and I'll use this example, often in Europe, if you dream of fishes, it is a sign of wealth. Right, as the money is coming to you. Dream of fish, like the nets are coming in. You're going to get some fish. It's money. Okay, that's a very common interpretation of the symbol fish.
Even in the Norman
Yeah,
cards, fish is the card that represents money.
Now, for me, that is not what fish represents to me. For myself, not for clients. If I'm working with clients, it's going to be very, very different because I'm going to be working on a psychic level. But for me, if I dream of fish, it means I need to be in touch with my family, because my family is fish. We are the school of fish, like we are the fish. So it means like I need to touch base with my family. So, but that's just a personal thing. It doesn't mean that anybody else needs to think about that in any kind of way. But I think that potentially you can see the logic there. Fish are very often not solitary. The school of fish. So there's that. And then absolutely in different cultures, there will be different interpretations. For instance, there is the black cat is an excellent example. In some cultures and in some cultural traditions, to dream of a black cat would be considered a very unlucky thing. Maybe someone sending a curse at you or something. In other cultural traditions, to dream of a black cat, incredibly lucky. Time to play the slots, like everything's going your way. So you're a lucky black cat. In other cultural traditions, your familiar is coming to visit you. There are certainly different ways, but if we just sort of take it around and back to Freud and Jung and anthropology, there is a very strong basis for the belief in an underlying universal system of codes that flows through the human subconsciousness, which is something to really think about. And this is something that has been studied by psychoanalysts and psychologists. And I'm not advocating for the purely psychological interpretation of dreams, but it's something to take into consideration. A spider is another good example of, or a snake is a very good example of things that are interpreted differently culturally. With some people, they dream of a snake. It's a terrible thing. Someone's coming for them. Other people, they dream of a snake. They're like, ooh, sexy, wisdom, something delightful and sensual is going to happen to me. But for other people, they're like, someone is coming for me. Someone is coming to hurt me, Spider as well, a spider could be something terrible. Other people are like, oh, ancestral. My ancestors are keeping a good watch on me. So yes, there are these very different layered meanings of cultural interpretation, which are very, very real. And that's as we are as dream weavers, we have to kind of really think about that. Like, we've got to take the cultural into perspective. We've got to take the individual into perspective. And then we've got to take the psychic spiritual world into perspective. And that is where the art of dream weaving really lies, because it has to be an intersection of all of those things. You can't just go from one thing. It has to be like, that's why it's called dream weaving. You have to like sort of like weave all the little things together until you create a mandala, a pattern of what's really happening. You know?
That is a perfect explanation. And you know, in Italians, we see fish as pregnancy.
Ah, I never knew that one. That makes complete sense. Yeah.
You dream of a refrigerator full of fish. They said, oh, she's knocked up. You didn't want your mother dreaming of fish when you were growing up. You didn't want her coming to you. You're knocked up.
Okay, so management is very this is our moment. This is our moment, Rhea.
To sing, I'm so glad we had this time together. Yes. I want to remind everyone, next week, the witching hour will be on hex breaking. It is a simple $20 fee for the class. I hope many of you attend. It will be a fascinating class. I will be going over herbs and spiritual bathing and candles, and I will be doing a love uncrossing live, because I feel that this is a time to break or any bad channels that have blocked your heart to the way of love, and to open the doors to heal old wounds, to let all old things go so that new things can come in. You know, it's physics. It's like whatever is occupying that space won't leave room for something new to come in. So we need to clear that space so that new things can fill in. If you have a closet full of clothes and you have no other place to put it, if you don't start emptying out those clothes, you're not going to buy new ones. So it's the same way with the heart. We have to clear the heart of the old relationships, the old baggage, the old luggage, the old garbage in the attic, clear it out and make way for new things to come. And even if you're in a current relationship and there is a lot of baggage there, a lot of water under the bridge, as they say, but you want to keep the relationship, sometimes it's also good just to clear up all the old cobwebs between you and make way for new love to grow and to prosper in the heart. So I invite you all next week, and please don't forget to watch all our other fascinating crowdcasts, and our psychics are available for readings. Don't hesitate to get in touch with us on www.esoteric.New York City. And again, Saturday night, the fabulous Zodiac Lounge with Anthony Russell. We'll be having a guest medium on. I'm looking forward to it. And please try our psychics out. And thank you all. Blessed be, and happy full moon.
Happy full moon. Oh!